another video from Australian Soft Plastics Lure Supplies. Today we're going to be showing you how to make a soft plastic. Very easy process, and this one is very basic, this video will be uploaded on a USB and put in the complete starter packs. So we have here our 242, and we're using the 242 medium plastisol. We have my injector. I won't use the injector that gets put in the starter pack. I'll use my big bazooka. We have an aluminium mold here, and we have our colorant. So we're just going to do a green pumpkin, which will be included in the starter pack, with some medium 0.040 gold hex glitter, which will also be in the starter pack. It's not required, the 242 doesn't really require heat stabilizer, but I will use it and show you. And we have a spoon, our stirrer, my laser thermometer, Pyrex jug, and the most handiest thing here, the paper towel. So paper towel is used for stuff like this. Pulling the lid off, you're always going to get it on your fingers like that, and it's just obviously to wipe it all off. It does get a little bit messy, stuff like that. Obviously all bottles, when they come, they're brand new, so they're good, but over time they you'll start to see them leaking and stuff like that, which is just what happens. So it's an easy process, guys. First off, you obviously want to put your plastisol in your Pyrex, a mix, or a roll. I like to roll, but you got to make sure it's mixed properly, because over time, and you'll see it over time, the ingredients will separate, and you'll see it clear at the top and mixed down the bottom, which is normal. You just got to make sure it's mixed. Rule for cooked plastisol is 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I know a lot of Aussie guys work in Fahrenheit, which I understand why. It is so much easier to understand than Celsius. I believe 350 Fahrenheit is approximately 176 or 177. If I'm wrong, I'll put it up on the screen now, but it's somewhere around that. It could even be a little bit less. But I always work in Fahrenheit for some reason. As I said, it's a lot easier. So 350 Fahrenheit is the good cooked temperature, and then you can let it for injection. You don't need to have it at 350 to inject. You can have it as low as 290 Fahrenheit if you really want. I try to get to about 320 for injection temperature into it. So I'm only going to do 250 ml of plastisol just to show you. So we just pour it in, and that's 200 just above it, but that's okay. All right, we'll push that to the side. Okay, now there's two options. You can either add your color prior to cooking or after cooking. My advice is, if you're just learning how to make soft plastics, do not put your color in before cooking, and I'll show you why. Because at the moment it's like milk. Okay, when it's cooked, it's clear. So that's another way to determine whether it's getting to that cooked process. If you add color, you won't be able to know. As I said, the heat stable is not required, but we'll show you. And look, you don't need a lot. I do drop count. I like to drop count. I'm obviously not counting now, but it's probably about 25 drops. And that's used really nothing in it, but it'll do its job. And we'll give it a quick stir. Okay, quick stir. Okay, and that's ready to go in the microwave. Okay, so at 1100 watts microwave, 250 ml of plastisol, it's going to take about 2.5 minutes. If I put it on for 3 minutes, it's probably going to be way overcooked. Okay, so that's been sitting in there for 2.5 minutes. Well, sorry, not sitting there, cooking for 2.5 minutes. And you can see the stuff on the bottom there. So that's what we've got to mix up, okay? It's pretty much cooked, but that's what we've got to mix up, okay? So just give it a gentle stir. You can even fold, okay? Fold it over, fold it through, give it a gentle stir, and yes, you'll see little micro bubbles in there. They will, they'll rise and they'll pop, so, okay. And yes, I'm not wearing a glove on my left hand. If I'm doing single colours, I don't wear a glove on my left hand, I only wear one on my right hand. And obviously I don't have a mask on because I'm doing the video. Okay, 334. Okay, probably was 350, but I was too busy talking. All right, but we'll put that in and scrape off the sides. Okay, we'll put that back in for 20 seconds and then we'll be good to go. Okay, so put it back in for another 20 seconds and okay, we are there. All right, so that's fully cooked. Okay, as you can see, it's pretty clear. Okay, so 350 is the recommended for being cooked, and I will put up the Celsius conversion as well, just so we don't get confused. Okay, so as I said, I'm just going to use green pumpkin, which will be added into the complete starter pack. As I said, excuse me, colouring goes a long way, okay, as you're going to be able to see. Okay, so I did drop count, okay, I don't just throw it in. Now, I don't do a green pumpkin colour, but we'll just do 10 to start. Okay, that's 10 in 250 ml. Okay, give that a stir. All right, and that's pretty green pumpkin-y. Okay, remember it's only 250 ml, so it's not a lot of plastisol. Okay, all right, so that's quite green pumpkin-y. Okay, so we'll leave it at 10 drops. So that just shows you what you can get out of 10 drops of plastisol. Sorry, 10 drops of colorant. You don't need to be whacking half a bottle in. This bottle here, you know, as I said, my other business, I stock shops and stuff like that, so even this bottle here would still last me months. Yeah, don't need to go silly with the colorant. Just start off small, and you can always add more. You can't take it out, so start with even 2 drops to see what it's going to come out like, okay? Then you can keep adding drops, mixing, adding, mixing, adding, okay? That's the way I learned to do it, and it works well. Okay, so the gold glitter, okay, we don't need much. So this is a 1/4 of a teaspoon, so 1.25 ml worth, okay? And I'm only going to put in half of that. So it's 1/8 of a teaspoon, okay? And you'll see how far this goes. Now that's probably even too much for what I would do, okay? But same thing, give it a stir. Stir it all up. Okay, there we go. It's looking a bit green and gold, look a bit of an Aussie. Okay, maybe I did this on purpose. No, I didn't actually. Yeah, that looks cool. All right, so with this, okay, just get the excess off and put it on the bench, the knife, or whatever you're stirring with, and there it is there, okay? So that's pretty good to inject right now, okay? So I can see, I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but I can see a couple of little micro bubbles in there. What I normally do with this, if I'm not using the vacuum chamber that I use, I will just let it sit in the microwave for a minute, minute and a half. Those little bubbles will rise to the top and they'll just pop, okay? And then after that minute, minute and a half, just flick it on for another 15 seconds, okay? That's all you need, and then we're good to go, all right? So I'm just going to leave it sit there for a minute, minute and a half in the microwave, and then I'll put it on 15 more seconds, and then we can get injecting. Just while that is sitting in the microwave for that minute, minute and a half, gives me time to take this glove off for a start. It gives me time to clean up a little bit, okay? You don't want to be working around a mess, okay? So just clean everything up, like put it to the side, okay? Things that you're not using, put it to the side, okay? I have hooks up on a pin board, okay? So you can do stuff like that. Yeah, so we'll get our mold over here ready. There's our mold. I'll just move this GoPro. Okay, we have our injector that is ready. All right, and this can just go. I'll show you exactly what to do with all this stuff shortly. Okay, so just remember, guys, if you have any questions, send Australian Soft Plastics Lure Supplies a message on Facebook or Instagram, or send us an email, Australian Soft Plastics Lure Supplies at outlook.com, all lowercase, and we're pretty quick to answer your questions. So, and as I said in the previous video with the complete starter pack, there's no silly questions, guys. I don't laugh at people for asking a question that's, you know, pretty simple. It's not about that. It's about making sure that you're doing the right thing by making your soft plastics. So if you think it's a silly question, I probably think it's a good question. Okay, so don't be afraid to ask questions at all. So it's been sitting there for a minute, minute and a half, and we're just putting it in for that extra 15 seconds. We'll make sure our injector's nice and smooth. Okay, you do not want an injector that's impossible to push. You want a nice smooth injector, okay, to make it as easy as possible. Okay, got our mold there. This is a 4-cavity 2.75 inch swim bait mold. Okay, it's only got one injection port, and you can get multiple injection ports, but I love a single injection port myself. So we'll go and grab that out. Okay, as you can see, all those bubbles have popped, and you can't really see another bubble. All right, just check the temp, 330, beautiful for shooting. Okay, so now we're up to the shooting bit. This is the fun bit, guys. This is really the fun bit. Okay, so put your injector into the Pyrex, okay, and just inject slowly up, okay. All right. Burp it, okay, so push down, get all the air out, okay, move over to your mold and just slowly inject down, okay. You will feel when it stops, okay, which it has, alrighty. Now every mold's different. This one, it requires about 5 seconds of just holding, not pushing, just holding that pressure down, okay. Come back up and top him off, okay. Very important that you top off your molds. Okay, you don't want any air getting in there. And any excess in the injector, just put him back in the Pyrex. All right. Okay, so that's done. Also, this one requires an additional top off. Okay, so that plastic in there will start sinking down into the mold. Okay, then I top this one off again. That's as easy as that, guys. You don't need to be, you know, pulling it up really quickly. Just nice and gentle, okay? There's everything's nice and gentle, calm, okay, and now I'm just going to top it off again, okay, right. So that said, okay, we've still got more in, plenty more in the Pyrex, so I'm just going to put that back in the microwave, let it sit, let this one cool down, and then we do it all again. All right, just while we're waiting for the mold to cool down and for the plaster solder set. So I said I'd show you with the knife or the stirrer, whatever you're using, okay, little Chinese takeaway containers. You can get them from any cheap shop, like 5 for $2 or probably even cheaper. I buy mine bulk on eBay. You get like 150 for like, I don't know, I think it's like $80 or something. And these are perfect for storing your cut up plastic in, and for using for another day. So all you do, okay, this is set on the stirrer. So all you do, you just pull it off. Okay, there it is there. You will find nothing goes to waste. Okay, this is the best thing about soft plastics. Nothing goes to waste. Okay, once it sets, you can just pull it off. Okay, that knife is clean and ready to go again. Okay, the injector has cooled down enough for me to touch it. So just be careful. Don't do this straight away, guys, because you'll find that inside is still a bit liquefied. Okay, so let it rest for a couple of minutes while you're waiting for your mold. So go and have a drink, have a smoke, whatever you do. Okay, sit down and relax, get on Facebook, get on whatever you do. Okay, but it's cooled down enough, so all again we do is just pull it off. Okay, pull that out. All right, that's half of it. Okay, take the bottom section off. Okay, there's nothing in there, nothing around it, but you'll see it in there. And all we do is it just push down on the injector and it pops straight out. So as I said, guys, nothing goes to waste. That gets cut up and we use it next time. All right, so we put it all back together. We give it a pump, make sure we're still pretty smooth. Okay, and we're good to go. All right, next step is to have a look at what you made. Okay, so it's cool enough to open up. Now it doesn't have to be cold. Okay, that's still quite warm. That's 72 degrees Fahrenheit. We just gently, we don't rip, we just gentle. Everything is very gentle, as I said. Okay, all right. And there we go. That is what we have made, and that is so cool. Okay. All right, that is really cool. All right, so I understand why guys love doing this. See stuff like that. It's quite cool. Okay. Now, I have an issue with one here. Okay. There's a little dent. Okay, in as you can see, the little dent there. All right, that doesn't go to waste. Obviously, that just goes into the container to cut it up later. Now you won't be able to shoot 1,000 soft plastics perfectly every time. Okay, now that dent there, if you were making plastic for yourself, that's not a massive drama. That will still swim the way that's supposed to swim. So if you're making them for yourself, that's not a big drama. Obviously if you're stocking a shop or something like that, or selling to the public, that wouldn't get sold. To me, that doesn't get sold in my business. So, you know, it just gets cut up for the next time. Which, look, you've got to understand that not everything's going to be perfect every time. So everybody does it. It's just the way it is. It could be a number of reasons why. Mold too cold, mold even too hot, injector too cold, injecting too quick, injecting not quick enough, not holding pressure, holding too much pressure, or there is just a little bit of air that got stuck in the injector going into the mold. Okay, it is what it is, and it's, you know, you just move on from it, obviously. But that's your creation. With the complete starter pack, that's a color that you can make, and that's pretty cool. So the next step is to cure these. Okay, now there's plenty of ways to cure them. All right, so you can just lay them on the bench nicely, how they should be sitting. Okay, all right, just like that, which is, I don't like to do it this way. Okay, so just like that, and let them cure. You can put them on a pin board. Okay, oop, and I will move that camera in 1 second, guys, sorry. Okay, so you can put them on a pin board like that. Okay, that's pretty ugly because I don't use a pin board. All right, or you can purchase a a freestanding rack from Kmart, Big W, any of those places. I've got 2 here, and I'll put a photo up of it now. And mine sit there for 3 to 4 days to cure. So just remember that them sitting here right now, they are still curing, okay? They won't cure straight away, okay? So don't think you can go and, you know, rip one off or cut one off and go and put it on a hook now. Well, you can, but, you know, that's still curing. That's still warm, all right? So the golden rule, 2 to 3 days, 48 hours. Depends on your location as well. Obviously, the colder it is, the better it is to cure. If you're in humid areas like we are here in Queensland, it takes a little bit longer. So, and the boys up in Darwin, get a fan on them or something to cure them properly. Yeah, I put mine all on a rack, and they just sit there freely until they're cured, ready for packaging. All right, so obviously there was more in the Pyrex to do another one. Okay, I'm not going to do it because it's exactly the same. So that's pretty much your step, guys, to making them. It's quite simple once you get the hang of it, and you can bang out quite a few. As long as you get your temperatures right, you get your colours right, you get your glitters and everything right, you have no dramas whatsoever. And it's a very enjoyable process, creating colours that are possibly not on the market. So yeah, that's about all of it, guys. I think I've pretty much done everything I can to make sure you make soft plastics properly. As I said, it's quite an easy process once you get the hang of it. And it's just making sure that your plastisol is cooked. I've had some guys message me that don't have a thermometer, that go, how do we know when it's cooked? Well, you don't really without a thermometer. You're sort of guessing that it's cooked, and I get a lot of photos say, oh, I didn't set, it's all sticky. Well, that's because it's not cooked, okay? Now, you may think it's cooked because it's like steaming like there's no tomorrow, but unless it hits that 350 degrees Fahrenheit, it won't be cooked. So thermometers for beginners are the best thing on the market, and it just pulls you out of the crap, and you're not wasting any plastisol. Alright guys, so one final step is not having your wastage. Okay, so it's quite simple. You grab that Chinese container, takeaway container, or whatever you've got. You grab a pair of scissors and you just chop it up. Okay, I like to go sort of 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter, something similar to that, so it reheats and melts pretty quickly. Alrighty, okay, so very simple. And guys, I normally do this while I'm watching TV, watching the footy, or you know, something like that, sitting there having a beer or a scotch or a Canadian club or whatever it might be. All right, so it's pretty quick. It doesn't take a lot of time, and then you can sort of reheat it. Any questions? Please feel free to send us a message on our socials or email us at Australian Soft Plastics Lure Supplies at outlook.com, all lowercase. Okay, not going to laugh at any questions that are asked. To me, and this business is all about helping the public with making soft plastics. So I'm not one to make jokes about anybody's questions or, you know, ideas or thoughts or anything like that. So yeah, don't be shy, don't think it's a silly question, just ask. You know, I'm online all the time. We're pretty quick to respond. Weekends, well, what's a weekend? I'm always packing orders or doing something for my other business, making plastics or something. So there's no such thing as a weekend here. I could have a Wednesday and Thursday off, or just a Tuesday. It doesn't matter. So, you know, you send me a message at 9 p.m. at night, and if I'm still awake, I'll reply. Probably shouldn't, but I do. And that's just our customer service side of things, guys. We really want to look after you and sort of do what other people don't do. And that's really have control of the customer service side. To me, a business is all about customer service. You can have great products, but if your customer service is shit, why would you bother? So my wife and I have really delved into the customer service side of things and getting orders out quickly and answering questions as quick as possible, and helping people as quickly as possible. To peel it on the side. And you can just peel it all out together. Right, look at that. Into a nice puck, as they call them. Okay. And that's what you got left over. Obviously the glitter being with a bit of weight sinks to the bottom. And then, yeah, as we did with the other little bit there, you just cut this up into cubes and put it away for your next go. So as I said, guys, no wastage whatsoever. You know, you've even got a little bit on the Pyrex here. Throw it back in. No wastage in there. It just peels straight out. Nothing left. So that's all I love about making soft plastics, is there is no wastage whatsoever. Unless you burned it, that's the only wastage you're going to get. So it's really good thing about it is you just peel it out, let it set, peel it out, and you can go again. That's our basic instruction of how to make a soft plastic. As I said, it's quite simple to do, and once you get your temperatures correct and colors down pat, it's a very simple process. Okay, as I've just shown. But just remember, as I said, any questions, feel free, hit me up. Especially those new guys that are just starting out and might be sort of a little bit nervous about the making process, but I think I've pretty much down pat everything just then. Very basic, but that's all it needs to be. Just needs to be basic to use make your own soft plastics and go out and catch fish with them. But other than that, guys, I hope that's helped out all those newer guys making plastics. We have quite a few socials, obviously the YouTube, Facebook, Australian Soft Plastics Lure Supplies. Instagram is ASPLS with dots in between them all. But I think if you type in ASPLS, it'll come up anyway. And our email, guys. So plenty of places to get in touch with us and ask for that advice if required. So that's it, guys. Socials, email, hit us up. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe on this channel and share around to anyone that's interested in making soft plastics. For now, good luck, and I hope it all works out for you. See you later.